In the study of history, certain inventions are credited to the empires that used them last. But buried in battle reports and surviving fragments is the record of a technology that was not discovered in a Western laboratory, but captured on an Indian battlefield. 18th century India. The air is thick with smoke and the sound of standard cannon fire. Then suddenly, streaks of fire scream across the horizon. These aren't arrows. They are hundreds of rockets crashing into formations, spreading a specific kind of panic that British officers later admitted they had never seen. While modern historical accounts often frame rocket warfare as a purely European achievement, the reality on the ground was different. In the 1700s, the British military wasn't leading this field, they were being terrorized by it. This record was later obscured. By analyzing how these weapons were taken and rebranded, we can clearly see how history is often shaped by those who claim the brilliance of the people they defeat. By the late 1700s, the British East India Company had transitioned from a trading entity into a dominant military force, and yet at that time, southern India remained a significant barrier to their total control. The Kingdom of Mysore, led by Tipu Sultan, stood as a disciplined, technologically advanced state that refused to surrender to British expansion. Mysore's resistance relied on more than just traditional defense. They utilized a specialized rocket corps that could strike at a distance and break the morale of veteran European units. For decades, this kingdom held off the British Empire by maintaining a clear technological edge on the battlefield. At the time, rockets used by other armies were little more than fire arrows. They relied on weak paper tubes that lacked the strength to handle significant explosive force. Mysorean engineers replaced paper with hammered iron cylinders. This drawing shows the central casing. Iron contained higher pressure, directing energy into the launch. The speed and distance hit with force to collapse infantry squares. For lethality, sharp blades were attached to the rear bamboo shafts. Because of their unique balance, the rockets often took a corkscrew flight path. This unpredictable movement made them nearly impossible to dodge, as they cut through lines of soldiers in ways a standard cannonball could not. This single material change, iron in place of paper, provided the structural integrity necessary to create a reliable, high-velocity weapon of war. Tipu Sultan recognized that the impact of this technology depended on the scale of its deployment. He established dedicated rocket units, ensuring that thousands of soldiers were trained specifically to handle and launch these weapons in unison. The defining tactic was the mass volley. Instead of firing individual shots, his troops launched hundreds of rockets at the exact same moment. The sheer volume of the barrage created a wall of fire and smoke. The roar of the engines was often enough to break the resolve of disciplined troops before the rockets even landed. Battlefield reports describe horses panicking and formations collapsing. Even veteran British officers struggled to keep their troops in place under the chaotic, burning sky. The unpredictable flight paths and the noise of the impact meant the British were no longer observing a foreign military. They were being hunted by one. The conflict reached its end in 1799. During the siege of Srirangapatna, Tipu Sultan was killed defending his city, and the Kingdom of Mysore fell to the British. When the British entered the city, they found massive stockpiles of iron rockets and the equipment used to launch them. The British command pivoted from conquest to study. They saw the effectiveness of the weapons firsthand and decided to systematically secure the technology. Hundreds of these rockets were collected and shipped directly back to Britain, where they were handed over to military engineers for forensic analysis. The victory at Srirangapatna gave the British Empire more than just territory. It gave them the blueprints for the next century of warfare. In British workshops, engineers dissected the captured Mysorean rockets to understand the secrets of their power and distance. Inventor William Congreve led this study. By directly analyzing the Indian iron cylinders, he began developing a new generation of rockets based entirely on what had been captured in Mysore. Congreve successfully reverse-engineered the technology, adapting the Mysorean design to fit the needs of European warfare. These Congreve rockets were soon integrated into the British arsenal and used in conflicts around the world, eventually becoming the standard for modern military rocketry. As the years passed, the original engineers and craftsmen of Mysore were left out of the narrative. History began to record this breakthrough as a Western achievement. The legacy of the Mysorean rocket suggests that winning a war provides the opportunity to rename the inventions of the defeated, leaving the true architects hidden in the shadows of the archive.